Hey guys, all right. Coach Kelsey told me that she'd gotten a great question recently from a couple of folks that I sounded to me like a great thing to do a quick video of that I think could be a great thing for us all to be kind of aware of. So, Kelsey told me she's gotten asked by a couple of folks, when does CrossFit get easy? When does this get easier? When does CrossFit get easier? Oh my gosh, it's hard. When is it not hard anymore? This is a great question, and it's really important to dive down into because it sounds simple. When does this get easier? But if we really understand CrossFit, the way CrossFit works, the answer to this question is really, once you understand the answer to this question, you'll really understand why CrossFit works, why we do what we do, and it will really help you inform your own training going forward and help you be super fit for a very long time. Avoid decrepitude, fight off chronic disease, all that stuff, all while being happy and functional and not injured. Okay, so the answer to when does this get easier? Stay tuned. This is a super important thing to understand. So the short answer to the question is, in my opinion, it should not get easier. If you find that CrossFit has gotten easy, you need to move faster. If you find that CrossFit has gotten easy, you need to add a little bit more weight to the bar. The whole idea of what we do is to find a level of intensity that is challenging for us currently, given our own physical and psychological tolerances, and work at that level of intensity until that level of intensity becomes a little bit easier. Once we get to the point where we've driven enough adaptation where that level, that amount of weight, that running distance, whatever, has become easier, now it's up to us to move that line out a little bit further, go back to being uncomfortable, drive that adaptation, get more comfortable at that new level, move that line out again, over and over and over and over, okay? So if we find that CrossFit has gotten easy, it's a sign to us that we need to take a step back and ask ourselves, should I be pushing myself a little bit harder? What should I be doing? Because if we're doing this right, it's not easy. It should not be easy. Now, it's important to understand what we mean by that and peel back a few layers there. What we're not saying is that it should be so hard that you make yourself sick. We're not saying that if it should be so hard that you are regularly sore after a workout for 4 or 5 days. It is possible to overdo it, and this is why this is we got to be very careful about answering this question. CrossFit needs to be hard enough that it's driving adaptation enough that it's allowing you to continue to get fitter. If it's too easy, you'll stagnate. But we don't want it to be so hard. We don't want to be overdoing it to the point where we're injurious and doing damage to ourselves. So finding that middle ground, that sweet spot where we are doing things that are challenging enough that we're continuing to move the ball down the road, that's super important. And that is hopefully, that's I think what we do very well here is help people continue to push the needle just enough to continue to get fitter without overdoing it. That's one of the great things about our level method system, I think. So the short answer, when does it get easier? It shouldn't, okay? Go in the direction of the thing that is hard. The obstacle is the way. Nothing worth doing is easy, okay? That's just the way it is in life. Getting fit is not easy. If getting fit was easy, we wouldn't have the chronic disease problem we have in our country. The reality is getting fit is hard. A lot of people decide it's too hard. They would rather be sick. And so what we have decided, every day that we step in the gym, we decide that is not an acceptable answer for us. We are going to go do the thing that is hard today so that I don't have to do the thing that is hard when I'm older. The thing that is hard when I'm older being go to the cardiologist, have a stent put in my heart, get type 2 diabetes. Having type 2 diabetes, I promise, is way harder than working out in the gym 3 or 4 days a week. So for now, go in the direction of the thing that is hard in the gym. Pursue difficulty, appropriate difficulty in the bands, intensity that's relative to your own physical and psychological tolerances, okay? And if you're not sure what that means, especially if you're newer and you're trying to figure out, I don't know, what does work hard mean? That's what we're here to help you figure out, okay? So ask a coach. But look, this is a thing that CrossFit posted a few months ago. I think this is a great kind of insight into this question. And this is focused on coaches, but it's useful for everybody to understand. The most successful CrossFit trainers recognize that a long, slow trajectory of advancement in skill and capacity toward a distant horizon is most effective both in terms of athlete development and retention. So what this is saying to us is we are not here at Twin Bridges CrossFit after development that looks like this. we're not trying to improve at this rate, okay? Because what inevitably happens at places where we're trying to improve at this rate is we hit a ceiling, we bounce off the ceiling, and we nosedive. What we're after, because we know that there's no rush here, that we're playing the long game, we're after gradual improvement. We're after continuing to move the ball forward 1% at a time, continuing to challenge ourselves just a little bit enough every day that we continue to get fitter. Okay? So hopefully that answers your question. Why? When does CrossFit get easier? It doesn't. I guess last thing I'd say is CrossFit should not get easier. But what will change is your mental adaptation. Coach Glassman said that the greatest adaptation to CrossFit is between the years. And so what he meant by that was, for a lot of us, the challenging part of CrossFit is not necessarily the physical part. It's the mental part of being willing to pick the barbell up again when you really don't want to. Heading back to the rig when you really don't want to do another pull-up. Heading back out on a run when you're really exhausted. You have the ability to do more physically than you think you do. Oftentimes the thing that's holding us back is what's in between our ears. And so that's the biggest battle we often fight with ourselves. So just remember the goal every day, move the ball forward 1%. Challenge yourself when you realize this is hard. That's the idea. If it's hard, you're doing it right. Okay? One day at a time, small little deposits every single day. And when you're 65 years old, you won't be worrying so we say fitness plus luck equals health. And this is on the sign in our gym. If you do everything you can every day in terms of your recovery, your nutrition, your fitness, to take care of your own health, and our health is our work capacity across broad time and domain. Our health is our work capacity across broad time and modal domains throughout life. Our fitness throughout our life. Okay, that's our health. And so if we're doing everything we can to ensure our own fitness, then we've done all we can. Okay. If God decides we're meant to get struck by an asteroid tomorrow, that's out of my hands. But what I'm going to do every day is go in the direction of the thing that is hard. Not eat the extra piece of pizza, even though it would be easy to. Not take off too many days in a row, even though it would be easy to. I'm going to go in the direction of that is hard because I know the rewards are worth it. All right? So let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to love talking about CrossFit and why we do what we do. Okay? So let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys soon.